So it's been around a year since the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 were released, and we've seen all the console wars. The Xbox Series X is this and that, and the PlayStation 5 is this and that, blah blah blah. And I've even went over my thoughts as to which I would prefer and which I choose. You know, I've dropped the Xbox Series X to the PlayStation 5 comparison video, and I'll leave the links down here as well. And I've even dropped a controller comparison video, so be sure to check that out as well. And for today, I thought we would bring out the controllers and have a follow-up review in a year later. The controller is very important when it comes to the gaming experience. It is what brings us closer to the game, and we want something that doesn't feel uneasy to hold after hours of gameplay, one that is ergonomic, bold, provides comfort, and is responsive with low latency. So taking a quick look at the Xbox Series X controller and the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller, everyone is familiar with these designs. A simple and improved Series X controller, and then we have the drastically changed DualSense controller. Both controllers are an immense improvement from their previous controllers, and there's no doubt about that. When talking about the feel of the controller, the Series X controller has a very comforting feel, and the weight balancing is exceptionally well done. The controller has shrunk a little more, with the handles being slightly narrower, allowing my fingers to wrap around more of the surface area. It may not be a dramatic difference, but it sure is noticeable. I prefer the small handles as it offers a secure and tight grip, and so I would consider this an upgrade from the bulky original Xbox One controllers. And on that note, the PS5 has decided to bulk up, producing a beefier controller this time around. Going from using the DualShock controllers to the DualSense did take some getting used to, and holding the control didn't feel right at first. And now, if you'd ask me, I strongly believe the DualSense is a lot better than the DualShock controls in terms of the feel and ergonomics. But between the Series X and the PS5 controller, the Series X controller offers a much more ergonomic experience. Speaking of the grips, the surface of the Xbox Series X controller is coated in textured plastic, deviating from the smoother finish on the Xbox One controllers. Once again, this is definitely an upgrade, as this new bumpy surface provides additional grip, whereas the smoother finish can immediately turn into a slippery surface during intense gaming. This is also true of the PlayStation 5 controllers, with the textured grip coated on the back that grips onto your fingers. And I've also noticed that the DualSense controllers offer a better grip overall against any sorts of finger slips during gameplay. Now, when we talk about the adaptive triggers and rumble motors, you won't find any enhanced technology within the triggers themselves on the Series X controllers. The adaptive triggers in the PlayStation 5's DualSense controller, which allows gamers to vary the amount of force required for trigger pull, are completely absent on the new Xbox controllers. The rumble motor technology is completely unchanged from what was inside the Xbox One's controller, and while the Xbox One's rumble was impressive, especially when games took full advantage of it, the DualSense controller's improvements are literal game changers, offering gamers a level of immersion that is beyond what the Series X controller is capable of. Overall, it feels as if the PS5 controllers are far more optimized for its games, considering you can feel every step in the game. You can feel the trigger pulls, raindrops. You can also feel the difference between shooting using a pistol and a sniper, and it's just adding to the gaming experience overall. However, this adaptive triggers and haptic feedbacks can also be of inconvenience. If you're, let's say, playing a competitive game like Warzone, you really don't want to be distracted by the haptic feedbacks and adaptive triggers, and this is something you might want to go in and turn off. So once again, it comes down to a matter of preference. Now that we've gotten the triggers out of the way, let's talk about buttons. The Series X controller offers a very clicky and responsive button, which is definitely a win in my opinion. Even though the PS5 controller was also clicky and responsive initially, I've noticed the more you use the controller, the buttons get less clicky and more mushy. Not sure if it's just me, but some of my friends have also experienced the same thing. There have been times I pressed down on the button and then I'd click again just to make sure I've actually pressed the button. So in this department, the Series X controller gets the point for buttons that feel a lot more reactive. Now, one thing I really love about the DualSense controller is its built-in mic. There are times when you're playing Fortnite or any other game with your friends and you're too lazy to grab yourself a headphone. The built-in mic comes in super clutch. Likewise, however, it is relatively easy to forget that it exists. There have been so many instances where I've realized midway through a match I've been broadcasting my life to strangers. And yes, I know there is a mute button right under the PlayStation logo. Regardless, a built-in mic is a well-needed addition to controllers, and would love to see Xbox adapt that in the near future. So to sum it up, physically speaking, the Series X controller is more ergonomic and offers great comfort, whereas the DualSense controller is a controller that stands out thanks to its many features like a built-in mic and adaptive triggers. So there is really no best controller. It's completely subjective, and don't let anyone tell you one is better than the other. They both offer their own ups and downs, and hope this helped answer some of your questions about the controllers. If you love this video, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, peace.